Hi there, my name's John Stevens, and this is Magic 316, the blog in which I take a look at the lectionary texts and tie them to a magical effect. This is recorded on the same day as the last one, but at a different spot. Same shirt. It's not like I wear the same shirt over and over again. Maybe I do sometime. Anyway, moving on. This lectionary text, this gospel, has to do with the eye of the needle. That great story where Jesus says it's easier for a rich man to get into heaven than a camel through the eye of a needle. Basically telling us it's kind of difficult for a rich man to get through. And when we look at it, if we're honest with ourselves, it's hard for us to, it's almost impossible for us to get into heaven by our own good works. I said almost. It is impossible. Claim that we can't do it by ourselves. It's all up to God's grace. So this magic trick, it's a classic magic trick. It's been around forever and a day. It's in a lot of the public domain books. I don't have a reference to who created it. I looked in my Stuart James rope encyclopedia, some of the work that he did. I couldn't find it. Maybe it's under a different name, but I have a linked on the website to rope through a needle or needle through a rope, or anyway, you can look at the website and see that link, and it'll take you to a video where a guy teaches it. But anyway, this is the application for that, and hope you enjoy. Alright, so here's the trick. You know, when I was a kid, my mom taught me how to sew, and one of the ways she taught me how to sew was using a rope, because the thread was a little too small, and the important part about sewing is to get the thread through the eye of the needle. Now, the eye of the needle is the small little part on the top of a needle, and that's what holds the thread. And it's really hard to do that, and so she showed me. This was practice for me. Was to take a thread and run it through, and so I had a big hole and the thread. So the gospel lesson, Jesus talks about an eye of a needle, and he says that it is easier for a camel to get through the eye of a needle, you know, a big camel through an eye of a needle, than a rich man to get into heaven. Now, I think sometimes it's because, you know, when there's folks that think that they can do everything themselves. Maybe got enough money that I don't have to worry about anybody else. I can do it all my own. You know, and there's times that I think of that. Even you know, there's times that it's like, oh, I've got to do all of this so that God will love me. If I behave just right, then God will love me, or then I can get into heaven. And the thing is that when it comes to getting into heaven, I try and I cannot thread the needle. I mean, I cannot get, and I miss it, and I miss it, and I miss it. The thing is, though, is it's because I'm trying myself to do that. I'm trying myself to say, oh, I've got to be this, I've got to be so good to get into heaven. And the thing is that we believe that because of God's grace, because of God's love, because of what God did through Jesus Christ, going to the cross for us, and ultimately that empty tomb that we talk about on Easter, that God has helped us. God has done what we need to get into heaven. So I'm over here, and as you see, it's actually threaded through the eye of the needle. So that even though I'm trying over here, what God did over here on the cross took care of it. God loves you that much that God would take care of us. So, anyway, that is that's the trick for this week, through the eye of the needle. You practice it, as you can tell. I mean, I ran through it, and I could still get it a little bit smoother as it as the work happens. Watch the video and learn it. But it's a great little trick, and it fits right with the eye anyway. All right, thanks for stopping by. I hope you have a blessed week.